I got the sense that there's a tremendous, and especially now with Trevor Noah, sympathy for the Palestinians. Now the Palestinian issue is coming around, that Israel will be seen again as a pariah. And here in California, you were just talking about the strong left presence here. What would you say to the public who assumes that if someone's Jewish, they're going to support Israel prima facie?
I would say that if you're ethnically Jewish, that's an indicator that you probably don't support Israel. The fact is, speaking in terms of polls, the vast majority of the Jewish community has no interest in Jewish religion or in the Jewish state. And so treating people who are born Jewish as though they have any more authority than anybody else to speak about the state of Israel is idiotic. I mean, it's like polling people who are born Catholic on matters about Catholicism. The question isn't, were you born Catholic? The question is, are you a practicing Catholic? So, for those of us who actually care about the practice of Judaism and who actually care about Israel, those of us, we tend to be conservative. Everybody who's non-practicing, they go to synagogue once a year on Yom Kippur and break for lunch. I mean, why would you expect them to care about Israel or Judaism?
What do you think about
the Jewish Federation tends to be left because most of the people at the top of the Jewish Federation tend to be Reform and conservative Jews. Again, the correlation is not causation, but it is pretty clear that speaking of correlation, Orthodox Jews vote heavily Republican. Conservative and Reform Jews, who have significantly less of an identity with authentic Torah Judaism, but have plenty of identity with bagels and matzah balls and claims of victimhood, they tend to occupy a lot of the Jewish federations around the country.
So, if the media is leftist dominant, how are Jewish people, especially young Jewish people, to get a good sense of what's happening and how they should view things?
Well, I mean, this is one of the things that I like about the fact the media is fragmenting, is you can have so many sources of information, places like your source. But there are many sources that you can look, but it's up to parents, particularly when talking about young Jewish people, to start introducing their kids to various other sources of information other than the traditional sources the kids will get when they go to school or when they turn on Trevor Noah, who, by the way, is a hack, or when they turn on any of the other various mainstream news networks, with the possible exception of Fox.
Would you characterize Jon Stewart, who people think of as a great Jew in media, as in fact a great Jew?
Based on what would I call him a great Jew? I mean, really, I can't think of a single standard by which I would call John Leibowitz a great Jew.
Well, what would you consider him as having done?
Who is prominent? He's an ethnic Jew who is prominent. That's not the same thing. Noam Chomsky is also an ethnic Jew who's prominent. I wouldn't call him a great Jew either.
Do you feel the Daily Show is being used for as a political advocacy?
I mean, of course. Of course, that's exactly what it is. I mean, it's an advocacy show. Absolutely. And unfortunately for them, Trevor Noah is not nearly as talented at being a political hack as Jon Stewart was. And he's really a step down. You take away, for Stewart or Trevor Noah, you take away the audience and the show dies.